there's plenty to do.
All right, that's rolling. This is rolling.
Okay, this is the Sammic. It's a 204T, which means it is one of the smaller machines that Sammic makes. Has a 10-inch wide heat seal bar, so that you can do bags that are up to 10 by 14 inches. This happens to be a 10 by 12, which is a bag I use around here a lot for doing lots of grain storage or just bigger hunks of meat and that kind of thing. The Sammic 204, like I say, has a 10-inch wide heat seal bar and a 4-meter pump in it. Now, we did a pack of rice in it a little earlier in an 8 by 12-inch bag and made a nice flat shape. So this time we're going to do a pack of the same rice, but inside of a paper sack. The sack gives you a little more puncture resistance against the sharp points of the grain, and it also provides you a light barrier. And it comes in handy when and it also holds a shape a little bit differently than the flatter pouches that you achieve if you just have a loose product into a bag. So this time we're going to take a 10 by 12, and this is a pretty tight fit. Now, one of the advantages of using a chamber style machine over a suction style machine is it really doesn't matter how tightly you pack the bags, because you're actually evacuating the entire chamber, and the air that's trapped inside the package escapes because of the pressure. So in this case, we're going to fill the bag up and give it a little bit of shape, and the paper sack tends to hold that shape a little better. Now, because of the thickness of this product, you're not going to be able to close the lid if we put it in there. So we're going to remove the plate that is in the Sammic, and the Sammics just come with one plate, and it's kind of interesting that if you leave it with its feet up, it gives you one level, and you can turn it upside down and have another level. So you can change the depth of it using just one plate. So you have a few less parts and pieces to lose or, misplace. So now, lay the open end of the bag just across the heat seal bar. And you want to make sure that it can lay good and flat when it gets sealed. Again, if you want to give your product a little bit more shape while it's being vacuum packed. Now on the Sammic, you can check your settings really quite easily. Looks like we're going to pull air for 29 seconds. We're going to run a 3-second heat cycle. And in this case, we are going to run a soft air so that the plastic will lay down softly onto the bag, or the bag will lay down softly onto the product. It's kind of a finesse sort of thing. There are certain products that you really don't need to have that extra feature run. It does require a little bit more. It does add a little bit of time to the cycle, but it also gives you a nicer looking product when you get done. And part of the whole thing in vacuum packing is you're going to look at this stuff later, so may as well make it pretty as you're going along. Simple operation of just closing the lid. Clock starts counting down. The vacuum gauge starts going up. And again, a chamber style machine is something that evacuates the entire chamber rather than just trying to suck the air out of the bag. So the bag actually expands in the initial stages. The air gets pushed out of the bag and into the chamber. And eventually, when the clock runs out, the heat seal bar will come up and seal the bag. And in this case, the soft air is going to allow the package to form around the product a little bit more slowly than if you just had a big inrush of air at the end of your cycle. So now you've created a brick that's light-proof and air-proof. Just exactly what you were aiming for.